Hey guys, second time lucky. I'm gonna have to wait a little while for you guys to join me. I just went live on Alex Reid, and I'm here now on Alexander Reid. I was trying to join my friend Prash, who I want to ask lots of questions about what this amazing, wonderful spiritual day is all about. And there he is. I will bring him on camera.
Hello, voila.
And there we
Hello,
are.
hello.
Hello. Sam Rose, Sunkist, Henry, Dawn Spooner. 9 people. That's good. We're getting there now. I'm just apologizing. I started to do my live and I got thrown off. I was trying to add you, and I was trying to be technical and hold a conference at the same time. It doesn't really work. But
let's Facebook gremlins.
Let's just Danny Batten in the house. Danny Batten, MMA legend, pioneer, much like my wonderful self. See you, Danny. Christopher Livermore. Now we're just going to have a little wait till we get a few more people, and then I'm going to. No, do you know what? I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go straight to it.
What's up?
What's today all about? 11/11.
What's up, Dave Sleet? What's up, Marcus Langford? Everyone, they're asking today's. Well, the 11th was yesterday, but the energy. Marcus is just asking. Hey, today's the 12th, of course. So why the 11/11? Well, here's the thing. When you're talking about metaphysical phenomena, or spiritual phenomena, or astral phenomena that pertains to quantum reality, not the 3 dimensions that we see, but quantum reality. When we're talking about stuff like that, we get into the realms of fuzzy logic, the logic and rationale that we use to perceive the human experience cannot be stretched perfectly over transcendental phenomena, over metaphysical phenomena. Yes, there are laws that operate it, but what that means is that the energy that was there for the 11th yesterday is still permeating. It's still there, and that's why there's still a lot of relevance.
All right, but what is this energy? I love what you're saying. I'm just conscious.
I'm gonna go right into it.
Of our lay people idiot guide it for us?
Yeah,
us spiritual newbies. What's going on right now on the planet Earth with the moon and all this jazz?
So there's several things going on. One is the full moon and the whole thing on the 11/11. So firstly, in spiritual circles, this is 11/11 is known as the gateway of consciousness. And the gateway of consciousness is a time astrologically and speaking in terms of planetary energies where a psychic portal is open between our dimension where we are and what we see and what we feel and other dimensions. So energy is able to transmit and receive itself through those dimensions more. So what it means, it's a powerful point in our awakening, our inner awakening. And it's a time when this gateway opens, there are several pillars that we're opening up into. There's the pillar of inner understanding. There is the pillar of healing, like inner healing from old emotional wounds, shedding old baggage. And then there is the pillar of physical healing. There are certain blocks within our energy body that are resulting in blockages and physical symptoms that are lingering. And so what we're doing during this time is allowing a powerful shift to happen in those areas of our life. And the 4th pillar is to start to be able to manifest. That is, for those of you who are watching the law of attraction, The Secret, and all the other woo-woo stuff, that we kind of love a little bit within moderate doses. We don't like too much of it, but whether you want to call it woo-woo or not, the law of attraction, which by the way was referred to and alluded to by luminaries like Einstein, who referred to the power of imagination as the most powerful force in the universe. Interesting that Napoleon Hill, the famous author of the Think and Grow Rich book, probably the most well-known book on the science of personal achievement, he himself referred to it as the infinite intelligence. He said that we're all small transmitting devices. We're small pockets of spiritual energy, and we have our source in one universal matrix of pure spiritual energy. You want to call that God, you want to call that the divine, the creator, source, however you want to refer to it, there is a divine, powerful, transcendental, and unending, as in infinite and timeless source of energy from which we originate. And what Napoleon Hill, what Einstein, what they were talking about, and Carl Jung, he talks about it as the collective consciousness. Now you've got psychologists like Carl Jung, B.F. Skinner, a lot of these respected luminaries from the Western world, not to mention Buddha and many of the Eastern luminaries across thousands of years, Confucius, another one, have tapped into this idea that, you know, we can tap into the infinite intelligence. We can synchronize our thoughts, our desires, and our intentions with that in order to start to bring about that reality. And the 11:11 time, and the energy still lingers, though it's the 12th, is a time when that energy to make those powerful shifts in our body, in our mind, in our spirit, and fourthly, to bring about those things that we want to have happen in the physical reality. It's a great time for that to happen.
So let me layperson that a little bit more. All right, I understood what you were saying, but I'm trying to make it really idiot guided. What can I get, Prash, doing some chants and some meditation and thinking positive now? Why is it going to be more positive right now than any other time?
Well, firstly, let me use an old saying from the world of personal training that I have had the privilege of you yourself share with me one time. If you remember a few months ago, when we were having this conversation, we were discussing, what do you think is the best diet out there? Is it paleo? Is it this? Is it intermittent fasting? Is it 5-2? We had this long chat and you said to me, Prash, you know what I tell my clients? I said, what? And you said, the best diet is the one that you stick to and you start.
Yeah.
The best diet is the one you start and you stick to. So let me say to you that really, I would respond to that question by saying, now is as good a time as any to meditate. Even if you miss this whole period, the point here is not necessarily 11:11. I'm sorry to disappoint those of you who've tuned in thinking that, you know, this is the be all and end all. If 11:11, new moon energy, full moon energy, astrological gateways, Mercury in retrograde. Oh my God, these are amazing. I can't miss out meditation and all this stuff. And if I've missed it, my life is over. No, it ain't. The most important thing is to get down with this shit. Get on with this shit and do it. Now, let me answer that question.
I'm going to get a little bit hippie, and maybe I won't go there. I was going about time not existing when you get to a deeper level.
Go.
But
we'll go on.
I won't for now because
time doesn't exist. It's a construct that we bloody created. I love it, man.
But I want to do before we get too woo woo, and tonight I'm not going to apologize because I've already told people it's going to get a little bit heavy and hippie. I want to do what we call a health warning, a mental warning. I want to say you're safe, and why I'm saying that because I have a lot of Christian friends, and they're not, and other religious friends, and I very much respect them. I'm very fascinated by learning all these different technologies and religions and sciences. Why are we here? That's basically the question I want to ask. And this could be deemed, some of the things we're doing by some of these people as unsavory, unhealthy, not safe to do. And I'm like, come on. Could you turn it off, babe? Sorry, Nicholas, I'm just getting playback. Let's talk about that. People doing this, you're not going to be summing up devils. You're not going to be worshipping devils. It's, of course, to many religious people, anything, and this isn't a religious, I'm not trying to get religious at all. What I'm trying to do is put people at ease. You're going to be concentrating on universal energies that are out there. And listen, the sun, if I learn how to use a magnifying glass, I can use the power of the sun to light a fire. So that's what you're going to be doing today. You do have to have respect because you could cause some damage. So that's what I'm trying to say is we have energies now, right now. And it doesn't really matter when you do this with the chanting, with the meditation, with the powerful thoughts. Thoughts really do become things. Science is
So much.
actually, I was literally just watching a documentary about we can literally affect physical, we're all made of ions, electrons, neutrons, atoms, all vibrating at a certain frequency. And we can actually change the molecular structure of those atoms by our thought. You know, you literally, I'm talking a little bit too much. I'm not trying to get too heebie-jeebie. I'm trying to say you're safe, guys. If you'd like to add anything to that.
No, I think you are absolutely right. It is absolutely safe where we are talking about metaphysics and spirituality. Let us not forget that we are all spiritual, we are all energy, we are all energy. So your choice of religious path should not interfere and has no adverse impact to embracing and engaging in what we're about to do. And so just roll with it. We're going to use the power of a mantra as well. We're going to demystify
I'm sorry,
this.
I'm going to cut you off. I just have to say hello to an old combat friend who I haven't seen for many, many years. We had a bit of a battle. He became the BAMA world champion. Xavier Fupicum was the French champion.
Wow.
He was an ex-UFC fighter. We had a battle at the Royal Albert. No, it wasn't, where was it? It was Earl's Court. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. And I know I completely cut you off, but I'm being a little bit of a fanboy there and geeky because it's an old battle buddy. It's an honor to have you on here, sir.
Enchanté, bienvenido. Enchanté. So as I was saying, so yeah, Alex, I think you've said it beautifully. We're here to talk about evolving ourselves as human beings. We can put aside our religious, cultural, and racial hats. They don't come into it because they are designations that we personally have and their preference that we have. Here, what we're doing is tapping into the power of our mind, our subconscious, and synchronizing that with our pure spiritual nature so we can start to align with the powerful gateways and energies that are around us at the moment. That's what we're doing right here.
What I'm trying to say is we're not blaspheming against God, against any beliefs. What we're trying to do is there are universal energies which we can't deny, much like I just said, the rays of the sun. If you learn how to harness them, you can do some powerful things with that. So that's we're using the spiritual energies which we have right now and using them to harness much more positive results. So, shall we do
Alex, just a quick point as well. You might have by accident just shared this with your friends as opposed to public. Just an FYI, you might want to just ask Nick to just check how the share setting on here. Just an FYI, because not everybody can see it. But just FYI, you might need to change the setting from friends to yeah.
If
Nick can do that.
It's my lovely fiance, guys and girls, and she's helping me as we go a bit woo-woo tonight. Oh, she's helping me with everything.
Oh, bless. She's awesome, man.
What would I do about my Nikki?
Oh, man. Absolutely. So look, let's get to it. So a couple of things. So folks, in summation of what we're doing here is we're going to harness the energy of these two powerful events that are taking place. The power of this portal, which was strongest at the 11:11, but the energy is very much out there. And so what we're looking to do is harness the power of meditation during this time and we'll use the power of visualization and affirmations in order to bring about that which we want to see as reality and to shed the things that we don't need anymore, that are no longer serving us. And we'll do that through a short 10 to 15 minute guided meditation where we will include the power of mantras. And let me explain what a mantra is. The word mantra, contrary to people from any race or religion who would have us misbelieve or misdirect the true meaning of the word mantra. The word mantra literally means to free the mind. Man means mind in Sanskrit and tra means to free. So the word mantra is to free the mind. In Islam, they have Al-Raha, Al-Rahim. In Christianity, Jesus Christ, Son of Mary, Son of God, have mercy upon me. Every faith out there has mantras. The Buddhists have mantras. Hindus have mantras. People who don't even have a religion have mantras. Mantras are there to help us free the mind. We're going to use a very simple mantra in this. I'll explain what it is in a few minutes. But I know there's a few things we want to share. And I just want to touch, Alex, with your permission, on the full moon aspect as well.
Yes, please. Yeah.
So folks, the full moon, the power of the full moon is for those of you who have animalistic tendencies, for those of you who feel that there's a beast inside you. If you focus your energies correctly on this night, which is the full moon night, there is a high chance with the right kind of power, the right kind of visualization and mantra, that you might grow hairs, teeth, and become a werewolf. Right, so I'm just making sure you're awake and watching this then, all right?
James Stabler, you're a werewolf. And James Stabler was another team buddy, and he's taken the mick about what we're doing is a bit silly and soppy, and I love you for that. He was I literally was one of the most animalistic fighters in the gym, bar none. His testosterone and aggression was off the scale. Big shout out to James Stabler. So it would be nice for you to actually, I'm glad that you're watching, actually participate and do some what we're going to do.
Yeah, big shout that you've joined us in, and thanks for being open-minded. So I just wanted, and if you guys have just joined, as I said, we've got a powerful gateway. It's a portal to pure abundance right now. It's 11/11 is a powerful manifesting day, and the period, so today as well, because it nears the end of our decade, right? We're near 2020 now. So what they say is a cosmic portal is available to us. That is a portal that stretches beyond this planet and connects with planetary energies out there. And that's what we're kind of tapping into. I want to talk a little bit about the full moon. This is a full moon in Taurus. So this particular full moon in Taurus is about peace and prosperity, this particular one. And what that means is, again, when we harness the power of our visualization, and I think you said it beautifully, it's like taking a magnifying glass to concentrate the energy rays of the sun, right? You're focusing them down. So when we focus our attention, and we therefore focus our concentration, and therefore our consciousness through the vehicle of guided meditation and mantras, when we focus all of that energy, we're able to direct it towards that which we want to manifest in our lives more easily. This is not a foolproof thing. This is not a woo-woo, sit here, do nothing, and it will all happen thing. This is about your belief and your visualization and imagination being put to proper, metaphysically, scientifically valid proof. Because let's face it, Alex, the house that you're staying in right now, the residence that you're in, how did it come about? If not from somebody's mind, right? It started in somebody's head that they wanted to create something where you're based, right?
Perception and an idea.
I wanted to live here. I visualized this place.
So
visualized it, exactly.
I did.
Everything had to start in the mind.
I did.
Everything had to start in the mind. So let me say this: November the 12th, where we are now, is activating our 12 it's a 12 universal year. It's creating a powerful 12/12 gateway as we move in. So Mercury's in retrograde, the sun is a conjunct, so Mercury's in retrograde against the moon. Without getting technical, what it means is that we have an opportunity for prosperity and opportunities that we've been struggling to manifest in reality, deals that we've been wanting to tie down, roles that we want to take on board, breakthroughs that we've been wanting to have.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you for a second. And I'm going to...
No, that's cool. You know I love to talk. So
devil's advocate here. I need to be devil's advocate, right? Okay, this all sounds great. And I've studied quite a bit of astrology with Kabbalah. Let's say the Hindu... They have their big on their astrological charts, and I'm like, yeah. At this time, it's Taurus is going to be more peace, and I'm like, hold on, what about all the war that's going on in the world and all the conflict? Forget the war in the world, the war in my own life. Hang on,
right?
How can I stop the wars in my own life? Are you trying to say this is the best time to start waving a white flag and start the act of diplomacy? And it will be more effective now because how is this scientifically proven? From I do actually understand this. I'm asking this for all those people who maybe don't understand.
Well, let me explain it. Yeah, so let's explain it in terms of psychology. Let's take a psychological angle on this. What we're doing is by concentrating our thought and consciousness in a particular direction, which is what we're doing, we're able to bring about strong focus and calmness to the mind. And when we do that, certain chemical reactions take place where hormones like dopamine are released, which allow us to ideate and create and solve problems in a more efficient way. So purely from a psychological or scientific standpoint, the very act of meditating deliberately with a focused attention, in whichever way we do so, is going to have some sort of positive effect on your being able to address the situations that you've got, the conflicts. So they're not being magically waved away by a wand, although some people have powerful testimony to that happening, almost as if with no effort at all. But even if we don't subscribe to that understanding, at the very least, we will be in a more empowered position to deal with things that come our way.
Yeah.
So having said that, I think, shall we go for a little bit of a taster and walk into a meditation? Folks, so if you're ready, we're going to go into this. I'm going to put some music on, and as Alex and I said yesterday, we want to make sure that you're in a position, Alex, as you rightly said it, you want to be in a position where you're not distracted, as you said rightly yesterday, where we want to be either horizontal with a pair of headphones on, preferably, or leaning back, but with your back relatively neutral. So we will assume you're in that sort of position, as Alex is beautifully exemplifying right here. You may have headphones. If you have, that's great. If you don't, let's run with what we got. We're going to start this now. So we want to start by bringing your concentration to the sound of my voice and the powerful, deep soundtrack that you can hear in the background. And as you do so, I want you to first bring your focus to your breath. You may wish to close your eyes in order to draw your focus inwards. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some deep breaths. I'll assume that you can hear me just sufficiently. And we're going to take some breaths where we're going to deepen the pace of our breathing. So breathing in through the and out. Breathing in through the nose. And out. Breathing in through the nose. And breathing in. And breathing in. In. Notice how your breath continue the breathing. Notice how your breath starts to deepen. And as you breathe more deeply, you may wish to place one hand on your heart or your chest area so you can really start to connect with how the breath is flowing from your abdomen up through your chest, filling your brain with powerful oxygen. Just like the tide of the ocean as it comes forward and then recedes back. So the breathing comes to the ocean shores as we breathe in and then recedes as we breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing in. As you continue this breathing, I'm going to invite you to chant with me this powerful sound, Om. The sound Om belongs to no race or religion. It is a sound that dates back from the antiquity of time. The sound is a powerful mantra to free the mind from all afflictions, and its power is amplified by its utterance. It is spelt A-U-M. Oh, we pronounce it with a slight accent on the A and the M, and then the O in the middle. So I want to invite you to join me in chanting Om, which is a transcendental and scientifically vested sound. We chant together. Good. Deeper still, second time. Good. Breathing deeper still, free from judgment and analysis of the sound, just feeling the sound. Breathing in. Breathing in. Good, really good. I want you to deepen your breathing and really amplify your focus on this sound. And notice how it feels as you utter the sound. Notice how the sound feels in your skull. Notice how it feels in your heart as it fills the chamber of your chest with the vibration. And we go. Drop your judgments, drop the need to know, release the need to analyze, and embrace your soul. Let the sound Om resonate throughout your being and make you whole. And again. Two more times, deeper still each time, breathing in more deeply. Connect with the sound. Last time, really deeply breathing in. Good. Maintain deep breathing. Maintain a steady but deep pace in your breathing. As you do so, now we will embrace the power of affirmations. This powerful state where your concentration is amplified. The disturbing traffic of thoughts is now down to a mere chatter. All is calm. You feel the calmness within your being as you continue to breathe deeply. 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 Now start the power of affirmations. I want you to say this affirmation, each one, inside your mind. Recite this affirmation, each one, to yourself, inside yourself. If it helps you, you can whisper it. If you're alone, you can say it aloud. But the best is to whisper it inside your mind. And we begin. I am a magnet for success. I am a magnet for success. Success comes to me in abundance. Success comes to me in abundance. Successful people are drawn toward me. Successful people are drawn toward me. I am successful in all that I do. I am successful in all that I do. I am a winner at the game of life. I am a winner at the game of life. I am unique and special, and I accept myself as I am. I am unique and special, and I accept myself as I am. I am comfortable in my own skin, and I am free of the desire for validation. I am comfortable in my own skin, and I am free of the desire for validation. I am loved for being me. I am loved for simply being me. I have endless reserves of inner strength. I have endless reserves of inner strength. I overcome my difficulties with grace. I overcome my difficulties with grace. I make the most of my talents and abilities. I make the most of my talents and abilities. I am powerful and resilient. I am powerful. I am resilient. I overcome the challenges in my life and succeed every time. I overcome challenges in my life and succeed every time. Continue to be in this state. Breathe. 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 Good. Breathe. Continue to breathe. I attract the best life has to offer. I attract the best life has to offer. I give myself permission to be me and be free. I give myself permission to be me and be free. Abundance is my birthright and flows to me in surprising ways. Abundance is my birthright and flows to me in surprising ways. I now allow success and prosperity to flow to me. I now allow success and prosperity to flow to me. Breathe. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me and through me. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me and through me. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me and through me. I now allow health, wealth, and abundance to flow to me and through me. Go deep. Let the sound penetrate your being. You are a pure being, encaged in this physical body to learn lessons through this life so that you become a better version of you. The people who have been put in your life are like bubbles on the crashing ocean wave. They have come together for a few moments in the vastness of time. Some will stay for a second, others will stay for an hour in the vastness of time, and then they will dissipate, and all that remains is you, and only you. But you come into this this world, empty-handed, and we leave this world empty-handed. But what stays with us is our consciousness, our evolution, our involvement, our unfolding, the lessons we have accrued in this life that allow us to transcend this material world and elevate ourselves in the next part of our journey. And so we deepen this experience and bring ourselves here. We deepen this experience and bring ourselves here. I am that which is pure. I am that which is eternal. I am that which cannot be destroyed. I am the pure spark of spiritual energy that exists within this body, and I transcend all suffering through my acceptance of my pure spiritual nature. I transcend all suffering and life's lessons through embracing my pure spiritual nature. I suspend my disbelief, I park my skepticism, and I reside in pure belief, trust, and surrender. I reside in pure belief, trust, and surrender. I reside in pure belief, trust, and surrender. Stay there as you are. Stay deeply in this powerful state. Good. Good. Stay in this state. Know that all that you have heard during this powerful session is beginning to find its way deep into your psyche. It is beginning to embed itself in the heart of your subconscious, where all powerful change arises as we learn to feed our subconscious and to feed our spirit with powerful affirmations, as we have done in this session. Know beyond doubt, know beyond skepticism, that the power of these words have penetrated where they need to and will bear the fruit they need to in due course. It is just a matter of time. And knowing that, we will seal the energy of this powerful 11-11, 11-12 period, coupled with the full moon energy of the full moon in Taurus, with 3 powerful and increasingly deep Oms, the universal sound beyond race, religion, and culture, the sound that speaks to our very core, our being, the sound that unites us with the Supreme. And we begin breathing deeply.
Hello.
Namaste.
Oh. Oh.
How are you
Well,
feeling,
guys,
Alex?
I obviously I couldn't go as deep as possible. I was conscious because we're hosting this event. Even though I didn't go as deep as I wanted, it was still, and there's a bit of what we call, for you scientists out there, left and right brain activity. As people, I've got a lot of friends on here, and I'm conscious of looking a tad foolish, although that I wouldn't do this so publicly on Facebook, on a platform like this, opening myself up to absolute ridicule if I wasn't that. There's a thought. Oh, what's going on here? Can you turn that music off? Like anybody, you don't want to. You have ever so slight concerns about perception, but the person I am, I live who I want to be now, and I speak my truth. Everything's on my sleeve. My heart's on my sleeve.
So true.
So, yeah. Why am I saying that? I struggled a little bit because I'm trying to add people and talk to people, but even though I didn't go as deep as possible, what I found fascinating was so calming. And I did the OMS and I did the breathing, such deep pelvic floor, breathing right down into my dantian, into my hara, to my guts, basically. And it was so deeply relaxing. And I was listening to your voice guiding us, and it was very, very relaxing. Even while I was also conscious of different people saying things, and I thought it started to not matter what they were saying. Initially, there was that, oh, this is going to sound a bit silly here. And I imagine if there's anyone out there who's actually participated and did the OMS, they're going to feel a bit silly doing that. And that's perfectly okay. It's okay to feel a bit silly. But as you do it, after the first time, I'm like, I'm in now. I'm not worried about feeling silly.
Absolutely, because what we're doing is we're learning to switch off the conscious mind. The conscious mind wants to remind us that we're Christian, and this is some sort of anti-Christian thing. The conscious mind wants to remind us that we're an atheist, and no scientifically minded guy in their right mind would do this. Of course, let's disregard the fact that Einstein was one of the biggest adherents for this stuff. Carl Sagan, one of the most foremost astronomers, was. I could go on and on and on. But the conscious mind wants to play its role in keeping us at the level of vibration and thought power that we're accustomed to. It is only when we, as you so eloquently put it, disregard it, switch it off, overlook it, suppress it by turning the volume down, that we can start to tap into deeper access, deeper areas of our consciousness. Because listen, let me just say this straight out to everybody who's watching. Now, Alex, I'm just keeping it real here like you do. When you are asleep, when we are asleep, do you really think that you're cognizant 100% about the fact that what color your skin you are, what religion you are? Do you think your body do you think your consciousness gives a shit about what your external body and race and religion are? When we are asleep, none of this matters. When we are asleep, our subconscious is beginning to outcrop. And obviously dreams and REM sleep and old processing of old things happens. That is to say, that's the state we want to get into. We want to tap into the subconscious in a way that is deliberate and purposeful, so we can actually harness the power of that subconscious. And we have to bypass the conscious mind, which is why I said during the meditation, disregard your disbelief. Don't analyze. Resist the temptation to try and question, and just trust and surrender. One of the hardest things for us to do in this day and age. And yet when we were kids, all we did was trust and surrender to our parents, because we didn't know any better. When we were toddlers, we entirely trusted and surrendered to the love and the care that our parents, if we were fortunate enough to have one or two, gave us. Whether it was good or not, we trusted. But we somehow along the way, we've lost that ability to trust and surrender.
Yeah, I mean, I had some friends who they probably wasn't probably the best group for them, and I could see them writing some comments. And at first, I was like a little bit jokey, and I thought, well, this isn't the right place, and I felt bad. And then, after a few seconds of chanting, any judgment I had of myself of feeling bad, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Maybe that's not the right place for them right now, but maybe it is. Maybe we've affected some people here tonight without them even realizing.
Helene, thank you so much for your kind words. Marcus, Paula joined us from the US. Big shout to Paula. She was with Jay Shetty recently. It's a pleasure to have you. Mark Kenny, Sunkissed Henry's just a delight. Karen, thanks for tuning in and sharing your love. And Karen said some great things. So it looks like Dawn, thank you. I guess, Alex, we've been able to do something in some way, imperfect as it is, to help you.
That all those guys, and I really do appreciate all of those people that you just said, and I see you come and join in our mine and Prash's chats very regularly, and I totally get that, and that you're like-minded, you understand what we're doing, and it's wonderful that we've got your support. What I just said about touching some of the people who found it maybe a bit silly, actually I like the fact we've maybe affected their consciousness. They go away and they think, oh, that was a load of silly, but we're in their mind now. You might think that's for a negative reason, but the thing is, we've not come across. We've only got love and light in our energy fields. So if they've gone away and thought, look at those guys, those hippie weirdos doing that chanting, silliness, thinking they're going to have a better life. Well, do you know what? I'm actually okay with that. I'm really okay with that. I'm really okay with that. And that's what the judgment. Oh, what? So I'm some hippie weirdo. If you're a hippie weirdo watching this, welcome to the fold. We're a bunch of hippie weirdos trying to do better stuff, lead a better life, a better universe, a better world, achieving all the things we want to achieve. I'm all good for that.
Yep. And you know what? If I say this, you know, I often have this debate with people. You know, a couple of friends back in the day when I was an atheist for a while, and back in the day, and I used to argue with somebody, and I said, yeah, well, look, if your God doesn't exist, or if God doesn't exist, then what's the point of all this kind of being peaceful and living a placid life? It's a waste of damn time praying to somebody who doesn't even exist. What's the point? And he said something to me that stuck with me ever since my sort of like early pre-university days when I become an atheist and I didn't really give a shit about God or anything. And he said to me something, he goes, well, my friend, whatever race, whatever religion or path you choose to take, whatever form of woo-woo-ness or hippie spirituality you embrace, if that process helps to bring you peace, inner contentment, less desire to rush around for material things, less hankering after stuff that you ain't got, and more satisfaction with the stuff that you got, if it allows you to appreciate what you have in your life and who you have in your life, and if it therefore calms your mind and helps it to be calmer and helps you to sleep better at night, then you know what? Who gives a damn if God doesn't exist or not? Because you've just improved your life in 4 powerful ways that money could never buy. Boom. That was it. For me, that was it. Like, wow, you know what? I'm going to stay open, man. From that point on, I remained open.
I would like to talk about religion it's a much deeper subject. I can't really flirt with it, but I can instantly I'm going to touch it, but I'm not going to go into it and delve into it in great detail. I have many religious friends who are saying you can't deny God because that's sacrilege and blasphemy, and you'll be forsaken. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're okay. But what I'm going to say is, and from what my belief pattern is, from studying many different religions, if you don't believe in God, but you lead a great, healthy, wonderful, moralistic, you're a good guy, but you still don't believe in God, you'll get judged, and you're enter gates of heaven. But it's going to be a lot easier if you believe in God. Okay, I'm okay with that. So for all you religious people, and or non-religious people, if you believe in a God and a heaven, great. You know, I do. Do you need to follow a specific style, a specific set way of worship to attain that? I don't think so. As long as you're leading the best moralistic life that you can, you know, and you listen to the true calling, and I believe God comes to you and speaks to you, and it's if you're doing something that you have a gut feeling, or that sense, it's we're going to get into your third eye, but between your third eye and your gut, if you're feeling something it's not right, and you know, that's your God, that's God, that's saying you shouldn't be doing this. And if you do that a lot, you know, going against your gut feelings, and which makes you feel uncomfortable, that's the true judge and tester when your time comes. So
Absolutely.
That's ultimately the sort of the layman's guide to living a prosperous life.
I love it.
Because
you said it so beautifully.
There's so many different forms of Christianity, of Islam, of every single religion going, everyone's got their own interpretation, right? And you're not doing it right, because my God's got a better pointy hat and a better beard and a better garment, a better cape, and your one's only got a short hat and a. Long story short, people all say my God's the true God. You know, this is the best way to do it. But how does it get when, you know, two sides are fighting in a war and they're both praying to God to win? It's about being the best person you could possibly be, and having that. And that, when you've got that feeling inside yourself, intrinsically, unless you're, I believe you could be damaged, spiritually damaged. You could call that demonic energies. There's many different forms of this in many different religions. Unless you're damaged there, your gut and your mind will actually say it's wrong to kill another man or to do something bad, to steal. You at some level, you might have dumbed that down because you've done it so many times, but that inside your soul will be screaming. Right. And you'll be like, what? I don't like this. And then it's like, we all know, well, we don't all know. I know lots of people who've done drugs. And for instance, cocaine, it changes your mindset. What happens is you start off doing it and it's not a problem. Yeah. And then the more you do, you become a nastier person. You're more selfish, you're greedy. That happens with lots of different drugs, and you don't realise you're doing it. And all you want is to have it. And you know, people even sell their children, you know, just to get their fix, and that's not them. So you could be warped. So it's learning to come back to your true self.
Absolutely, and I think there's truer words haven't been spoken to come back to your true self. Like we said in yesterday's live, be yourself no matter what they say. Be yourself. But to understand who that real self is, meditation, reflection, journaling, and having the company of people who can be a mirror for you is a necessary component of our lives. Otherwise, we will be being ourselves, the false self, not the true self. The true self isn't the martial artist, the MMA man. Those are aspects of his personality. The true self is the one who is there when all is out, when we are on our own, when there is nobody to prove to, there is nobody to please, there is nobody to respond to. That self that is unchanging, that is, as you said, synonymous with our gut, that is our true self. And that is the self that we want to embrace, because then whether we remain an MMA fighter, we remain a mother, a father, our kids grow up, our parents die, no matter what happens in the changing landscape of our lives, our true self will remain the same. And therefore we can learn to become more resilient and centered throughout our whole life and less reliant on people, money, and places outside for our happiness. Amen.
Aho. Namaste.
Aho. It's like, that was a good hour of power, I think, Alex.
Wow. Yeah.
That was some great wisdom there, Mr. Reid. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys and girls.
Okay.
We'll bid you adieu and see you next time.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Folks, if you've stayed till this end, and if you've got any particular questions, just drop us a private note here. DM us, we'll chat. We'll fill you in on the upcoming retreat that we've got. Can't wait to tell you about that in March. We'll fill you in on our retreats in March. If you want some coaching and you want to get some guidance, drop us a line, urbanspirituality.co, urbanspirituality.co. And if you want to just share some love with Alex, please do so, but no naked pics. Lots of love, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Take care. Thanks, Alex. Do share this, guys. If you've liked it, please, if you stay till the end, make sure you share and like and share and spread the message so people can benefit from this meditation. God knows the world needs more of this stuff. Alex, thanks for being you, man. Take care.
I can't turn
Peace
off.
out.
I'm trying to turn off. How do I turn off? It's stuck. I'm still here. Oh. No,